What's going on? My name's Roman and welcome to Roman Rose Collectible Coliseum. On today's episode, we're taking a look at the S.H.Figuarts Super Broly from the Broly Dragon Ball Super movie. So let's go ahead and get on into it. I'm very impressed with this figure. This is probably one of my favorite figures that I own. The movie was absolutely fantastic. If you haven't seen it, you can rent it on YouTube or Google Play. It was like $4 to rent and totally worth it. I watched it twice. It was an hour and 40 minutes, which was actually pretty long. And it is such a cool story. We get a whole new story for Broly. Not quite good, not quite bad. You get to kind of decide for yourself. But we do have this awesome skirt, which is also explained in the movie as well. Just such a cool character, and I think that they've even added more to the lore with the movie, so I was so excited to get this figure. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's huge. But let's go over the articulation like we always do. So from the ground up, we do have some really good movement here in the ankles, as well as toe joint. So that's really nice. We don't really get a rock in the ankle. It's a little bit of back and forth, but you see this part that comes down kind of prevents that from happening. We do get double jointed knee, lifting the skirt up. Goes all the way up to there, which is pretty good. The leg comes all the way up past 90 for a chest kick, which is really impressive. I thought the skirt would get in the way, but it does not. In fact, it has a hinge right here, so you can hinge the skirt upwards and kick his leg back, or make it look like he's moving in that direction really quickly, which is cool. The leg does come out that far, which is really nice. Kicks that far forward, kicks that far backward. You can see that there's a ball right there, and there's where the cut for the upper thigh swivel is. So it works really nicely. All the range you could ever want out of an SHF for this guy. The skirt floats a little bit, at least this front piece does. And as you can see, the back piece is attached to him right there. It's a very soft rubber. Not too soft, though. It's pretty thick, but it's soft. So very pliable. So I like that a lot. Looking at the articulation for the waist, we do get a movement right there at the waist, as well as an upper crunch. The upper crunch is kind of limited by the green thing, which is attached to his upper pecs, and his abs are so bulky that it's kind of hard to get it around. So you do have a limited rock and a range right there, but you do get range from the waist. As you see that purple part that's moving, that's the waist. And then that's the upper, so a little bit different. Looking at the hands do spin all the way around. There is a hinge on the hands, and you can replace the hands. We will go over what that looks like here in a little bit, but also you get a double jointed elbow, which is really nice, and you get good shading on the figure as well. You see some of the muscle cuts and some of the, like the muscles look very fibrous, so I really like that a lot. Upper bicep cut, which doesn't work too well just because of how muscular the arms are. It kind of gets stuck in the way, so I'm not going to use that too much. The arm does come up, and you see how it's coming out with that butterfly. It's kind of weird, so you have to kind of keep the butterfly down when you are moving the arm, but again, all the way around. Comes out to the side, come up that far. It looks really good. I will go over the shoulder pads here in a second, but you do get that really cool all-over butterfly joint. You can see it right there. And then the shoulder pad has a ball hinge that goes like this. So you can fold it over the top, and then you can even fold it all the way back. So really what that's meant to do is, it's just meant to move with all of the dynamic arm posing and stuff that you could do. So these are some of my favorite shoulder pads ever, the way that they're attached to the back of the arm. I really appreciate that. And then as far as the head, the hair makes it very limited. It's very hard to do anything with the hair or the head. You can move it side to side and make it look down a little bit, but really not too much. So let's go ahead and look at some of the accessories. Let's get different heads and hands and stuff like that. So we do get a total of 6 pairs of hands. We get the closed-fisted hands that are on him right now. We get the grabby hands, which are right there, and then we get the open palm hands. So I am going to put one open palm hand on him just so we can see what that wrist peg looks like. And again, changing wrist pegs is not my favorite thing. However, these are nice, big, bulky, heavy-duty wrist pegs, so this one I don't mind so much. There you can have him doing a blast. He does not come with any kind of blast effect, which is a little bit sad, but you know, you can always find some on the secondary market. So this is his regular, just kind of base head. Oh, the necklace came off. But there's the necklace that keeps him kind of in line. Here is a screaming head where he's powering up. And the cool thing about the two black hair head sculpts is that you can take this front piece off of both of them and switch the faces on the two. So if you wanted the yelling power-up hair, you can have the yelling power-up hair. Or if you wanted the calm power-up hair, you can have the calm power-up hair. So that's what it looks like that. I think the other one fell off. I don't know if I did the review with it on or off. Yeah, there are the two heads kind of floating, and you can swap them. So we'll take that one off, and then let's see if we can put the calm head on this guy. I think, nope, that's not his. This is his, right here. And then it just ports back in really nicely. But I like this head sculpt with this face a lot. The big hair just kind of calm. That looks really cool to me, so I like that a lot. The only head you can't really do this with, and we're going to take this off for the Super Saiyan hair, is the Super Saiyan, because his eyes are white and yellow. So this is an absolutely outstanding figure. The build on it is hefty. It's durable. And again, this figure is just so large. And I think the real reason I like this figure so much is because of the movie. At first, I wasn't sure. I thought it was a cool looking figure. Then I saw the movie and I was absolutely sold on it. This guy can do any dynamic pose that you really want or need him to. It's just that there's not a big enough flight stand to get this guy flying through the air. You need a really big arm for that. Maybe they do make flight stands that big, but this guy is an absolute monster. You can find him at Barnes & Noble for 70 bucks. You can find him on Amazon for, I think, 55 or 58 bucks. At that price, he's an absolute must own. This figure is incredible. And really, it's like getting 3 different figures at once, because you get the 3 heads. I mean, not really 3 different, but you know what I mean. You can, if if you really wanted to, you could buy 3 of these guys and pose each one of them with a different head, which would be going the extra mile. You'd have to be a super crazy Broly fan to pull that off, but I think you can do it. So it comes with the necklace that Paragus uses to keep Broly under control. That's his dad. We get the base head, like the normal Saiyan head. We get the powered up Saiyan head, and then the Super Saiyan head, as well as the extra hands. So yeah, this figure is absolutely fantastic. Just to compare it to an average sized figure, I'm going to compare it to the Marvel Legends Agent Coulson 2-pack Killmonger. So you can see what it looks like compared to your average Marvel Legend. So you see it is quite a bit taller. I'm trying to think, what other big Marvel Legend do I have we can compare him with? Let's compare him to Juggernaut. Let's see how big he is compared to Juggernaut. Not quite as big as Juggernaut. We can't even see Juggernaut on the camera. So not quite as big as Juggernaut. Let me see what else we can compare him to. We have a DC McFarlane figure that's in the 7-inch scale. So you see it's a lot closer to that. I think the hair makes it a little bit taller, but that's a 7-inch figure. Their chins and shoulders are about at the same area, so that's about how tall he is. And then finally, we will compare him to another S.H.Figuarts, the only other S.H.Figuarts I own, which is Saiyan Raised on Earth Goku, who looks just so happy to be here. So yeah, I mean, I highly recommend this Broly figure. It is one of my favorite figures in my collection right now. And it's not just because it's the newest figure, but it might be the most well-built figure. The thing that I am directly comparing this guy to is a Storm Scorpion that I have, and it's not exactly the same. Some of the mechanics on it are different, but if I had to pick between Scorpion or Broly, I would definitely pick the Broly, just because of the hands and the heads. Not that Scorpion doesn't come with accessories, I just think that this is a much better, much more finished product. So, if you're thinking about getting one of these, hopefully you've been pushed over the edge, I highly recommend it. Super duper figure, Super Saiyan Broly, along with the other Broly heads. Absolutely awesome, big guy, posable, and on the more affordable side of figures. The other Brolys are going to set you back at least 100 bucks, anywhere to 100 to 180 bucks, depending on which Broly you're looking for. So this, in my mind, is the best Broly alternative on the market. Thank you everybody who watched, and as always, peace, love, keep on collecting, and I will see you guys next time.